You're in the Electric Ballroom. Keith Roth, Danny Anniello, Punky Meadows, our co-host this evening, all the way from beautiful North Carolina. And he did a great weather thing before, which I'm saying, Punky, maybe a little, a little moonlighting gig. I mean, you could be the news guy. You'd have all those women going nuts.
Beautiful sunny days here in North Carolina and warm nights. You can't beat that.
You'd be the number one rated weather guy, man. The women would just be freaking out over that.
I'll be the new Willard Scott.
I love that.
Oh man.
I was going to ask you though. There's a movie, and I think it's financed by Justin Timberlake, and it's called Spinning Gold, regarding Casablanca Records. Did you hear anything about it?
No, I didn't hear that. That's cool.
Apparently, Justin, picked up the rights.
He's playing. Actually, he's playing
Neil Bogart.
Neil Bogart.
Neil Bogart. Wow. I know that Gene Simmons one time wanted to do something about a movie about Neil Bogart, but that kind of, I guess, didn't make it. But I heard something about that a long time ago. But that would be cool. Wow.
Well, I mean, you were there firsthand. I mean, I'm sure you've been to some of those.
Oh, yes. I went to all those parties. We went to the to the red carpet premieres of TGIF and Fox's, and we after parties. Whenever we would play in L.A., there was after parties for us with Casablanca. And of course, when Kiss played, there were after parties too. And Neil Bogart was a great guy. Neil Bogart was the golden boy of Hollywood at the time. He started out with Casablanca. He with his credit card. He released an album by Johnny Carson, and of course he wasn't making any money, and he was bankrupt basically until disco came and he got Donna Summer, and then Kiss finally broke, and then he became the golden boy of Hollywood, and everything he touched turned to gold, platinum. So, and he was a great guy. Neil was always behind all of his artists, and he was behind us, and 100%. And he was the coolest guy. We used to go in after we would record a record. We would sit in his office, and everybody would smoke a joint, sit down, he'd crank it, and he would sit there shaking his head, going, "Yeah, man, that's hip, that's cool."
And
he was a great guy, man. He was really into his acts, and he was just a wonderful person.
That's cool.
And the way the record business was back then, I mean, everybody, look, it took Kiss 4 records before, it was almost like, all right, you guys kind of put out your first record, and you just keep progressing. There was a progression to it. Like, it wasn't like you had all that pressure of making one album and being dropped. I mean, always nurturing his artists, like, letting it kind of build on its own as you guys grew together. That's one thing that is unexistent, except maybe for Main Man. But, in this day and age, I remember, the movie Thank God It's Friday, and, obviously you guys being in Fox's. I mean, that must have been some insane parties.
Oh, it was crazy. It was fun. I mean, Ace would be there, and Gene and Paul would be at those parties, and we'd all just hang out, and the music be playing like crazy, and everybody was. It was just a great. It was it was the golden years of Hollywood too, I guess, as far as the music scene goes. I mean, everybody was. It was just everybody. I mean, rock stars were the biggest thing ever, bigger than actors or anything. Everybody wanted to be a rock star back then, and it was just it was an amazing time. It really was.
Speaking of Foxes, they probably have a whole concert of you guys somewhere on the cutting room floor, huh?
Yeah, I mean, we would sit around all day long in costumes from 6 o'clock in the morning, and then we'd come out and we would shoot a scene after they got all the lighting down, and all the smoke and the room and stuff, and we would come down and shoot for about 10 minutes and then go back in and come the next day and do the whole thing all over again.
Right.
Making movies can be kind of tedious, but it was fun. And Jodie Foster was a little kid there, and she was all infatuated with us, just staring at us. We were all in those white costumes with all the makeup on and stuff. She didn't know where we came from, but she thought it was. I could see she was really into it. She was cool.
Yeah, and by the way, Punky had shown me some pictures. Someone had just relocated some of their old Angel costumes, so it was really cool to see.
I know the main reason why I went to go see Fox is since I remember.
Sherry Curry?
Well, Sherry Curry was in the film, and also they said Angel was in the movie.
Yeah, well, that's why.
And it was like this girl, a mutual friend of both of ours, Tara Moriello.
Oh, okay.
You remember Tara, right? And from Danny's neck of the woods, and she was like, "Oh, you got to see this movie. It came out in 1980. Cherie is in it, and Cherie hadn't done anything for a couple of years because she had split from the Runaways. And Angel's in the movie, and it's based around like her like Jodie Foster's father's like the tour manager of Angel. It was It got me all excited, and then I saw the movie, of course, a bunch of times.
Oh, me too.
It was a good movie too about the coming of age of 4 young girls, and it was really good. Yeah.
I wanted to ask you, Punky, and a lot of the Kiss fans will want to hear this. Last time we talked about you auditioning for Kiss, and when Ace left, they offered you the slot, but you were with Greg at the time. You had told me a story about Peter Criss wanting you in a band about the same time, or maybe like 82 or so?
It was around the same time. Peter had just left Kiss too, and he was playing. I had this band. They were playing at the Starwood. They were like a pretty big band, like I don't know, 9-piece band, and they were like a kind of a soul band or R&B band. And we hung out and stuff. And he invited me down to his house for 4th of July, And we went on this boat out by the Queen Mary and watched the fireworks and all that stuff. He wanted me to get me in the band and the whole thing. It wasn't my thing really.
Right.
I wanted to be in, and like I said, I was with Greg then, so we were still doing that thing. But Peter was a great guy.
Yeah, I love
really,
Peter.
Really good.
That would have
he's a
been kind of cool to hear too, with Peter's voice too. And oh man,
That might have been interesting.
Yeah, he has a great voice.
The one guy that I knew really well, in Kiss obviously was Ace, and I've met Gene and Paul several times, having him on the show here. But Peter, he was on the ballroom once for a Kissmas special for 5 minutes, and I'll tell you, his 5 minutes was some of the best 5 minutes that you could. He went through from debut Kiss to Unmasked and perfectly in 5 minutes. It was just awesome.
That's cool.
And then I only met him a couple. He's a really sweet guy. He lives right down the street from here, actually.
Yeah.
All those guys are really good guys. I like all the guys in Kiss. They're good guys.
Yeah. Well, you're a great guy, Punky. People are literally freaking out. A new record from you. We're going to assume that it's going to be 2015. And I got to hear some of your lead playing, which is just unbelievable.
Well, thank you, Keith. I appreciate it. That was fun. Danny kind of talked me into that. I didn't really want to do that. It was late at night. We had finished writing a lot. He says, "Come on, Punky, let's just play a little bit. Just do a little jam." And I said, "No, really?" And he goes, "Yeah, come on, do it." So I did it, and actually it turned out. I didn't think it was going to sound like
it turned into a song. It's really good too. That's another thing we're going over. We don't want any filler. This whole album's going to be like every song we're going to like as much as the other. So.
Well, with you guarding the gates, and that's one of the rules that you told me going in, that you want every song to be
absolutely.
There's no hit singles because the whole record is good. Let the people decide, quote unquote, what a single would be, or any of that kind of thing.
Yeah, well, the whole album would be a hit single.
I remember seeing the pictures of you guys when you guys, the first writing session you guys did, and all the smiles and laughter and all the stuff that was going on.
Such a blast.
I should have been there. Is really what it came down
I wish
to.
you had been there too, Keith. It would have been cool.
Well, we'll be doing a lot more, plenty more time. And people want to know, too, Punky will be playing all the lead guitar on the album.
Oh, yeah.
Anything you hear remotely that sounds like a lead, scream, fill, anything is Punky. You guys have a lot to look forward to on this. And
so basically, what you're saying is every guitar note,
every little
nuance.
I might do like a basic rhythm track through every song, but Punky's overlaying everything. So just to fill it in, because this way live. We'll have that same feel, I want to also let people know that Bobby Pantella, who's also in a band called Monster Magnet, will be playing drums on the album for the most part.
Let me tell you, Bob Pantella is...
Keith knows Bobby.
I've done 1,000 sessions with that guy. He co-produced the new Frankenstein record. He's a member of Monster Magnet, Raging Slab. The guy is, to me, one of the best drummers out there, one of the sweetest guys, a great producer, great studio. The guy is just numero uno. He's a diamond in the rough, is the way I describe Bob Pantella. And just a super great guy, super great guy.
He is.
It's all across the board with him. You're going to love him. You're going to love him.
Yeah, that makes it the best, too. You want to work with nice people, too. And I've heard him play. I know he's killer, so I can't wait to get that. Plus, he's a studio whiz, too, from what I understand.
Yeah, he's got it all. And he's
cool.
just a real easy guy to work with. Let's play something from Angel right now.
Okay.
Punky, pick it again. You're making our lives easy. We played Tower. We started with White Lightnings. What's the third one?
How about Wild and Hot? You know how much I love that song.
Oh, yeah.
There you go. Punky Meadows here in the